start recording. That should be good. Okay, so hello, all of my homeroom students. I'm changing how I'm doing the recordings. This is not the recording for class. Um, this is, yeah, this is, how do I explain this? I'm new to this technological thing and, um, I've been working on everything. So we're just gonna start from the beginning. This is gonna be the video explaining what Spectrum of the Craft is. Um, Let me scroll down all the way here. Going through all the rules and everything that's there on the sidebar. That's what this is right here, the sidebar. Um, I'm a dean of instruction, so I can see everything. So there'll be things that I can see that you won't be able to see because you haven't reacted to them or what have you. So just keep that in mind while I'm going through all of this. Um, and without further ado, let's get started. So, when you start Spectrum of the Craft, you first come into the entrance here. So, it just tells you, welcome, your user, and everything like that. Um, there is a welcome channel. You do need to read this when you come in. It essentially says that you need to introduce yourself to the Academy using your witch name, your age, your gender, and pronouns if you want to. Your zodiac, your sexuality, your witch type, practitioner experience, how long you've been practicing, where did you find us, and sharing anything else that you would like to know. So before you even get started, you do need to fill all of this information out because it helps us put you in the right spot in terms of beginner, intermediate, advanced witch, things like that. So then going down, whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. Um, we have the while you wait chat. So when you're new and you're waiting, this is the chat that you can go to. And we have the roles. I don't know if you guys can see this actually. Oh, I think actually you can. You can react with your ages. React with your sexuality so you can get those roles, react with your pronouns, your zodiacs, and things like that. These are all reaction bots, so you can react to these. Like, I'm a Capricorn, which is that one. So I'll react as a Capricorn. I'm a she, her, so I'll react as a she, her. I am definitely 22 plus. I'll react like that. And then I'm pan, so I will react with the pansexual reaction. So it just adds your sexualities and your basic information when you are under your name for the Spectrum of the Craft. So someone can see you, they understand, because we have so many students. I don't want to accidentally misuse a pronoun, so I can click on your name and see what pronouns you are so I can properly attribute your right pronouns. Going down, we have the rules chat, and this is actually, you have to react to these, I think, before you, like, it's the introduction and the roles, you do have to react to them just because, we need you to know that, that you've read them, that you understand them. So we're gonna go through these really quickly. I'm gonna scroll all the way to the top. One of the first things is anything sexual, graphic, or inappropriate is not tolerated. It can't be like your Discord profile photo or your icon. You can't bring it up in conversation. Um, when if you break a rule, either on purpose or on accident, you'll go into detention, and I'll explain what that is a little bit. But anything that's like not like E for everyone or PG. Um, PG 13-ish. Um you have to keep that in mind. We do have people who are under the age of 18 on the server, so we need to make this place a safe place for everyone. The other thing is no tagging people excessively, specifically the headmaster. If you have any issues or concerns, please use the designated channels. I'll give you right here on the side. You can click on this icon right here for the member list, and you can see the academy professors, the mods, administrative assistants, the deans, like who is on. So if you have any questions or anything, you can you can go to the right person as opposed to just excessively tagging like the headmaster. Thantos is he has a job outside of this, and we have to keep that in mind and just know that if you have any issues, go through the deans, go through the academy professors first, and I promise it will get handled. There's no discrimination on this server for any reason. We'll go over that a little bit later, and I don't think this applies anymore. Just as if you're not a teacher, don't post in this channel. But I think that's been changed where if you're not a teacher, you can't. Anyways, there's a liability for this Discord server, specifically since we deal with witchcraft and things like that. We can't assume any responsibility or liability for any lost profits or anything that's correct or incorrect. The entire risk to use this Discord server has to be on you guys, the students, if you do or don't listen to our advice or follow our advice. So you do need to read through the liability disclaimer. And you have to follow the general Discord rules. You can click on the link for the community guidelines and the Discord's terms of service. If you break any of these things, you'll just be automatically banned. This includes lying about your age. We have a couple age centric, not centric. We just have a couple channels for people of specific ages, and if you're caught lying about your age, you'll just be automatically banned. You won't go into a detention or anything. It's just a really big deal. We need everyone to be safe here. So, diversity rules. This server is really diverse, and there's so many different witches and paths from all different walks of life, every different season, and we're really LGBTQ friendly and a place for anyone under kind of the witchcraft umbrella. So you need to be respectful of everyone within this community. No conversation should be insults directed at others in a serious manner or intended to be offensive. You can, if you have like a friendship with someone, kind of rib them a little bit. That would be okay, but as long as it doesn't cross into the line of like bullying. If you do, if anything looks like verbal bullying, you'll be sent to detention to kind of figure out what's going on, regardless of the intent. So if you cross the line, we'll stick you in detention and figure out what's going on and help you understand what is or isn't okay. We don't tolerate homophobia, transphobia, racism, sexism, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, xenophobia, etc. This also includes discrimination against Christian witches as well. That we just want everyone to be respectful of what's happening in the server. Words used against marginalized communities won't be tolerated. The exception being the words that are in those marginalized communities as a form of reappropriation. The N word specifically. If you have any questions as to what these trigger words are, you can go through these. I don't know how to re-black that out. Oh well. And see what that is. You can kind of guess what they might be. But yeah, we'll move on. If someone asks you to please stop doing something, you need to back off. If you have any further issues, please express these concerns to a dean of dean of instruction or the headmaster. Definitely go to the dean of instructions first. You can see them kind of on the side. You have me, and then we have Dusky here over here on the side as well, who are online. Typically, there will be a dean of instruction online at all times because we have multiple deans across the world. So, Dusky is on the opposite end of the world from me, so when he's online, I'll be asleep. So, just keep that in mind. If the headmaster is not online, don't be messaging him or don't be looking for him. Just go through the deans of instructions first. Um, Mental health. So this is a witchcraft server designed to teach, so please keep it to that. Don't vent outside of the vent channels. We'll go into where you can find those later. Venting channels is really for if you had a really bad day and you just need to like get all of those emotions out. There'll be other people that might be on there, kind of scroll through there and might offer words of advice or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. If you or someone you know is in serious danger or in a crisis, don't come to us for help. We are not your therapists and we can't all help you adequately at a distance. You need to put down Discord and call an ambulance or a suicide hotline. You need to get help from people that are closer to you that are more local. If you're in like physical or in danger of harming yourself or others, we are not the place to go for that. While we might be able to help you by being a listening ear, offering insight, or identifying a different point of view, we're not your therapist, and you may be encouraged to seek one out. And here's a really big one, especially since we focus really on witchcraft and spirituality. While we are welcome of individuals regardless of ability, intelligence, and mental illness, some witchcraft servers can be a trigger for those with unmedicated or unmanaged mental health issues that can cause you to have a loss of touch with reality. We welcome everyone who will benefit from our server, but we can't allow an individual who has had struggles without proper reality testing abilities to gain access to this information that could only worsen their symptoms. We just want you to be really careful. If you notice someone kind of talking about things that kind of don't make sense to you or you don't think are based in reality, if someone is I don't know, there's not really a really good way to explain it, but if you just feel like someone is losing touch with reality, and becoming dysregulated, then you need to definitely come to, again, the deans of instruction or the headmaster, to kind of get everything figured out, figure out what's happening. Um, we want people to recognize the red flags before it becomes a car accident. So, restrictions. This server is 13 plus. No, not safe for work or triggering topics outside of the designated channels. We require everyone be 13 years or older. Parental permission is not an acceptable substitute. So if you are 12 and your parents say, yeah, you can be on here, you still can't be on here. You have to be 13. Swearing is allowed except for racist or offensive vocabulary. All channels support minor swearing as long as it's not excessive. So shit, fuck, things like that. You can type those, damn it. You can type those out and say those things as long as it's not like excessive, right? And you'll kind of hear it, people that are just really excessive with their language, or if you heard it in real life, just kind of things like that. Not safe for work is also highly restricted. Any pornography or offensive imagery is not allowed at all. They will be deleted if they're posted, followed by a warning message. The judgment will escalate if this situation becomes repetitive. There is an 18 plus adults only channel. There should never ever be pornography posted there. However, it's a place for adult memes and art that may contain scenes not suitable for younger students. Again, profile pictures and usernames cannot be offensive, contain any explicit or triggering, anything triggering in nature. Any blood, not safe for work, gore, animal death, or other triggering topics. Actually, there's no channel for this. So anything that's like really bloody or gory or has animal death in it, there's no place to post that here, currently. So if someone posts that thing or you're uncomfortable with those things, it's your responsibility to stay out of those channels. Again, there's no place for the blood, not safe for work, or an animal death on this server as of yet. So if you see it, it's an automatic detention. Any triggering topics should have a warning on them, using to lines on each side of the statement and keep things within the correct channel. Always, always, always read the channel description and pinned messages before posting. If a professor or a dean or a headmaster tells you to move a conversation to another section on the server, then you need to do that. There's an Ask a Teacher's channel, a place for students to ask questions for the teachers. Um, if you feel you have insight that is needed, you can also feel free to DM a professor or dean. If you're having, if you are a student and you are answering questions in the Ask a Teacher channel, you will be put in detention and receive a warning, no matter if it's correct or not. The Ask a Teacher's channel is specifically only for the teachers to answer and respond to the questions there. With that being said, if you put something in the Ask a Teacher channel, definitely be aware that we have teachers on almost every continent and on every time zone, and and not every teacher is going to have experience in your question. So it might take a couple hours to have a teacher respond. Definitely know that if you post a question in the Ask a Teacher, the teachers will see that and will put it in our own teacher chat to get the most experienced teacher to answer that question. But sometimes it just takes a little time. Everyone has their own lives and their own jobs. So it just takes a little time if you have a specific question and you put it in the Ask a Teacher channel. Just remember, it'll take, a couple hours for that question to get answered because we're trying to, on the back end, get those questions answered by the person with the most experience. No advertising other servers without the prior authorization of the headmaster. No one else can do this except for him. No spamming, no emoji spamming, no spamming the same word over and over, bot spamming, or excessive caps lock. No sexual harassment. If you are making advances to another person and they're unwelcome, you need to immediately stop. Any further flirting will be met with repercussions. This is a teaching server, not a dating app. Again, if you have this issue, definitely approach one of the deans of instruction. If you are not understanding someone else's boundaries and you continue to try to flirt with them, you'll be automatically banned. This is a really big issue. It's not actually an issue. It's not an issue in the server. It's just we treat it as an issue that we'll just kick you from the server if it continues because we want everyone to be safe. No gatekeeping. Respect closed practices. Respect someone else's path. If someone practices a path that's different than you, you're still expected to respect them. Don't project your morals, ethics, and values onto other witches or people on this server. We do not condone participating in closed cultures when you are not a part of them or have not been initiated to them. Nor do not display the reverence for the practice. I'm a little tired. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Do not display the reverence. I just think just don't practice in a closed practice or a closed culture unless you've been initiated into it. That's kind of pretty much it. Don't encourage others to participate in practices from closed cultures. This is including hoodoo, voodoo, smudging, and native practices. There's others. This is not a comprehensive list. And I think that's also going to be talked about in basics, taught by Thantos. So if you have any questions, I'll definitely ask a teacher or anything. There's one banned practice that will not be discussed within this server, and that's the Order of the Nine Angels. No gatekeeping. Everyone forges their own way and learns their own time. We care most about learning and teaching and making someone feel like they are a real witch. So no gatekeeping if you think that someone's not a real witch because they can't name off every crystal or color correspondence. This is not conducive to a learning environment. And never threaten to bind, cross, curse, hinks, or reject students, professors, or anyone within the spectrum of the craft server. There's actually some pretty intense techno wording layered within the server. So it's any attempts to hex a student or cross or bind or jinx them in any way, shape, or form, um, you'll actually get hit with the techno warding first, and then whatever warding comes after that. Um, Also, don't try to steal anything within this server. Again, any attempts will also trigger the warding and will rebound against you. It's not fun. We've seen it happen a couple times, and it's not pretty when it happens. So, um, when you read through these, all the rules on the rules channel, I know it's a lot. You do need to react with the little check mark down here. You just click on it. See, I've already done that. But you just click on it to get everything going your way. Now, that was a lot. Now, let's go into applications. If you want to be a teacher, there's an application that you have to go through, and an application process. So, all of the information is here: your name, age, gender, and pronouns. What would you like to teach? Why would you like to teach it? How long have you been practicing? What are your reasons? And things like that. There's more that happens behind the scenes after you get a teacher application. All the deans of instruction sees it, and we move forward from there. There's other things you have to put together, your syllabus and everything like that, before you can actually start teaching a class. So just be aware that this is not all that happens when you apply to be a teacher. There's more that happens after you turn in this application. So, introductions. When you come into the server, you have to introduce yourself. So this is kind of what it looks like. In the entrance right here, that's not what it is. It's on the welcome. It talks about your introduction format, how that's supposed to look. So when you actually make your introduction, that's kind of what it looks like, and everyone does their own. And then there's house points and current leaders. This is for the teachers. I don't know if you can see this. Then we have the about spectrum. So we have Academy Aid, which is this needs to be edited, but he's no longer the headmaster, but that is okay. It's just basic, kind of get to know the server, kind of questions, what the roles are. And then we have our January 2021 course catalog. It lists all of the classes based on electives required. Obviously, homeroom is required, and so is basics. And then it goes through your beginner classes with my other class, Creative Crafts. It's what's highlighted. Crystals and stones, and all the way down to intermediate classes, being jars and potions, shadow work, and then Tarot 101 with an advanced classes of and Christian witchcraft. We have soon we'll have demonology, and we'll also have Christian witchcraft opening soon. The list of classes, let me click on that. Come on. There we go. This is when you react to things. So you go through all of the classes and you react to them to get the rules to be in that class. So shadow, like, if you react to it, you get the role. Astrology, if you react to it, you get the role. Things like that. Assistants and academy aids. This is the introductions for all of the assistants and academy aids. So if you have any general questions, you can absolutely ask them. Then we have the directory of the teachers. So starting with, a lot of us have currently nicknames right now because for Spirit Week. So there's me, there's Thanatos, the headmaster, right? So it kind of goes through all the different teachers. So if you have any questions, but you don't want to necessarily ask the Ask a Teacher section, then absolutely come here, see who teaches what, and then you can ask that teacher directly. This is a directory to just kind of see what is here, and then we have a link tree to all of the different social medias. We're still slowly setting everything up. We have a lot of things that we're doing in terms of teaching, So social media has a tendency to kind of take a back burner spot in our schedules just because we're more worried about people who are in the server first before looking at getting more. So, going down to sorting, we have announcements. So, this will be sent to everyone. Um, these are going to be things like um, the Spirit Week um, thing that we're having, getting ready for Imbolc. Um, and new classes that are happening, boosting of the servers. So any new clubs that are happening, those will be announced in the announcements. Then we have the Ask the Teachers channel. So this is going to be any students that have a question can ask the teachers. And again, there's things that'll happen behind the scenes that that you're not necessarily going to be seeing. There's peer magic support. So this is going to be for students to ask questions of other students. So if you are a student and you feel like you have an understanding of different things that can happen, cleansing and warding and things like that, this is where you would answer those questions. We have on a spectrum of the craft 4 or 5 houses. So if you want to be sorted into a house, then you can take the personality test and you actually message this house sorting channel and will give you the role associated with that house. Same thing with level sorting. If you are you have not been assigned. Yeah, so if you are not a beginner anymore, you feel like you're more intermediate or advanced, you can absolutely come here and say, hey, this is where I think I'm supposed to be, and we'll sort you out. Absolutely. We have a daily almanac that Thantos is starting. It doesn't happen every day. I think it happens mostly on like holidays and things like that, but just kind of keep those in your mind. I'm not going to worry about the setup. I don't think that is something you guys have to worry about. Club registration. These are, you can react to, again, these are all bot reactions, so you can react to one of the clubs and see, I'm not a part of book club. I can see everything, so I definitely don't always remember to react to everything because I can already see it all. Um, but you can react to the different clubs and things like that to get those roles so you can be in them. This is just, again, another reaction bot, so you can react to the different elective classes. Right now, this term, we only have one, which is chanting incantation. And then reactions to the required classes, which is this homeroom and witchcraft basics. And then we have the beginner classes. These are going to be the ones that are updated most frequently. So definitely kind of look at these a little bit more in depth. Especially since we have now a Christian witchcraft class, and then intermediate and advanced classes. Advanced classes, you actually have to apply to get in. And I don't think you guys can see this. So after everything right here, all of the your journey begins, the about spectrum, the sorting, and the classes, you get into the houses. So we have 5 houses, being Pompilium, Phoenix, Hippocampus, Unicorn, and Dragon. And you get sorted into the houses based off of your personality test and how that looks and how that ends up being. So if you want to be in a house, you absolutely can. You don't have to. With my classes, every single week with your homework, you get a chance to get house points and extra credit points for your assignments. So, and it typically has to do with more in-depth research on those classes. So At least for mine. I don't know if other teachers do this yet, but just so you know, like when we do classes and things like that, the people who are the first to show up for classes typically will get house points. People who are interacting with their classes get house points. Things like that. It's just kind of, you do really well, you get house points. If you do really poorly, then you can have them taken away. We've not actually currently seen an issue with house points being taken away yet. So that's just something to kind of be aware of. Each house has um, the element they're associated with, the house points. Like Unicorn House currently has 95 points. We don't currently have notable alumni yet, but we have a common room for each one. So Unicorn House isn't very active. Then we have a homework corner. Let's go to Dragon because they're a little um, where students can ask questions, and then the voice chats for everything. So, going down below the houses, we have the chats. So we have the general chat. This is kind of where everyone goes when they're just talking to their friends. Suggestions, if you have a suggestion for the server. Yeah, this is correct. This is not in the right spot, but that's okay. Then we have a languages chat. If your first language isn't English, this is where you would go. We have Sarah, who is from the Balkans and everything like that. So we have a lot of different languages that happen in this chat. We have Vent. This is where you go to vent pets and familiars. This is like pictures of your pets and familiars. It's just really sweet. Deities and spiritual beings. This is where you would go to talk about that. Spells. This is where you would go to talk about the spells that you do or recommend. Dreams and astral, this is where you talk about your dreams. This is Greenhouse Prime. This is just kind of talking about plants and things like that. We have crystals. So people can post like their crystals and things like that. Beasts and entities, that's when we're talking about different animals. Okay. Broom closet. This is for people who are in the broom closet to talk to other people who are in the broom closet. You'll see King Ruler of Demons. You'll also see me on here. I'm technically in the broom closet because my mom doesn't know that I'm a witch, but I'm also 27. So, and I have 2 kids and I'm married. So, you'll see I'll definitely make suggestions for people in the broom closet. In my classes as well. So, but this is where you would go if you're in the broom closet and you need a place to go. Abilities and gifts. This is for someone who they're wanting talking about their spiritual gifts and things like that. I actually know the answer to that, but yeah. Means I need to hold on. I'll write it down later. Memes, any kind of really funny memes that you find. Yep, that's totally bot commands. Don't worry about that. The bumps and motivational quotes. So if you find anything, this is a really good one. I'm gonna actually have to cricket that somewhere. Okay. So motivational quotes that you find, you can put here, and then TikToks. If you find anything on TikTok that you would like to share, this is where you would put it. And then we have a story about. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. A story time voice chat. This is kind of like the backup voice chat if something's not working. We used to have a story time that lasted for like 2 weeks. But then no one showed up, so we just stopped doing it. And then we have the library section. We have public information. If I can get it, there we go. So this is something that if you want to like show books that you have, anything about deities. I don't think there's only one post in there. That's okay. Book of Shadows. That's people are showing like the books of shadows that they make, things like that. Witchy history. There's a couple of posts on here about some like witches. Bookshelves. This is a couple books that you can learn from. I actually have that one on my Kindle. That's really funny. Um, so there's just this really basic books that you can kind of look into if you're into those. We have a lot of others. Witchy shops. This is where you can get recommendations for shops, or if you find a shop you really like, you can go there too. Witch paths essentially is a giant list of all the different witch paths that you can be on. So, or do or look into, right? Some of these are going to be closed practices, kind of like Santeria is closed, Brujeria I think is closed. But it just definitely gives you like a list. Oh, look at this. Closed cultures and religions. Yeah, see, that's what I was saying is um so yeah, these are all closed. But it shows like the open ones as well. And you can definitely look into all of these to see, you know, and just kind of go into it. Basics for witchlings. These are like the basics. So like there's a couple posts on here about the tools and incense and crystals and things like that. And then gifts and abilities. There's nothing on there, so I don't know if you can see it. So we go into, after all of this, after the library, you go into the clubs. So we have the adults only club. You have to react to the anime club, art club, book club, D&D club, and Pats Anonymous. You have to be in it. I don't know how to explain it. You have to it's not initiated, but you can't react to the role. You actually have to be invited. That's the word. You have to be invited to Empaths Anonymous, specifically because we don't want someone who's not an empath to be in there and not understanding everything. We have the food club, the gaming zone, the LGBTQ plus zone, neurodivergence, people of color, the question of the day, the selfie corner, singing sirens, tea and cups club, the adult chat, voice chat, and then the singing sirens voice chat. Then we have broomsticks and chill. This is for anyone who is verified 18 and older, because they have something every Friday that they do in here. And then after Broomsticks and Chill, after all the clubs, is the classes. So all the classes are listed alphabetically, and the classes you see are the classes that you've reacted to. So I'm in charge of creative crafts, so I would see creative crafts and I would see homeroom, but since I'm a dean, again, I see everything. So so it kind of goes from A through Z, and then that's pretty much it. After your classes, you don't see anything else. We do have a professor chats and events and things like that. Places that we do things. If you have any questions about like specific book recommendations, we have like a library that we can access that you can't see. But I'm going all the way down to detention. So the detention class. This is where you would go if you break a rule. This is really when you are in the detention class, you can't see anything else on the server. The only thing you can see is detention. The only thing you can do is interact in detention, so we can figure out what happened, get you figured out, and what the rules are and things like that. So yeah, this is where you would go. Recently we've not had anyone who needed to go into detention, which is good. So but this is where you would go. That is pretty much everything in terms of the Discord server. I don't necessarily know what the students can see and not see. So just keep in mind, if you can't see something on your own and it's here and you've seen it here and you think that there's a mistake, definitely go to the member list, see who's online, and kind of get that figured out. um and if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. I am, hold on, I'm trying to, no, hold on. I'm the creative one. I'm Sunshine. I'm the homeroom teacher and the creative crafts teacher, and also a dean. So if you have any questions, feel free to DM me, and I hope you guys have a great day.